especially our dear Bisconians and our dear Salesian educators. Today is the 14th of December, and while we are in the season of Advent, we still remember the saints whose commemoration or whose memorial we celebrate these days. And today, we celebrate the memorial of Saint John of the Cross, priest and doctor, and he is a Carmelite. I just found a very short biography here in the internet, and I'd like to read part of it. So Saint John of the Cross was born in 1542 in a place in Spain. It's called Fontiveros, and he was born with the name Juan de Yepes y Alvarez, and he was the son of a rich merchant. And his father died when he was still very young, and leaving his mother to raise him alone. And when he was 18 years old, he studied first with the Jesuits, and then he entered the Carmelite order in 1563. In 1567, he was ordained priest. He was 25 years old at that time. And at that time, he met Saint Teresa of Avila. And she was another Christian mystic, the famous Santa Teresa de Jesus, and followed her lead in attempting to reform his order. And that was something that was embedded now in the names of those who are followers of these two saints, OCD, Order of the Scots Carmelites. And in 1568, Juan and three other friars began to live a strict monastic life in a small farmhouse, and they would go barefoot as confirmed as a confirmation of their pledge of poverty. And he changed his name to Juan de la Cruz, John of the Cross. And there was hostility from his former brothers who saw his strict discipline as a criticism of their relaxed way of life. And so something very painful, his own confreres arrested him in 1576 and imprisoned him. And it was during this period of imprisonment that Juan de la Cruz wrote most of his exquisite poetry. He died in 1591. And when I was a novice, till the time that I was a young Salesian, I have been enamored with this saint, San Juan de la Cruz, Saint John of the Cross, and more so because of his poetry. And one thing that we know about him is that he wrote this piece, The Dark Night of the Soul. It is actually a poem, a work that is untitled, but because the poem speaks about this, the dark night of the soul, then it became the title of this spiritual classic. But what does dark night of the soul mean? It's actually the spiritual crisis that many feel. Maybe that spiritual dryness, despite the fact that people pray, that we pray to the Lord and we are in union with Him, maybe through meditation and other means, that we feel that spiritual dryness despite that contact with Him. And you know, this is not just unique of St. John of the Cross. St. Teresa of Avila for many years experienced this, as did St. Teresa of Lisieux. And more recently, we know about the experience of St. Mother Teresa of Calcutta, that she had for many years this spiritual dryness when she was praying all the time, but she did not get any satisfaction from it, no consolation in that prayer. But actually, it is part of that journey that we have towards purifying ourselves. It's union with God, actually. But the end of this one is, of course, really that embrace of the Lord. That even in our prayer, there's a lot that we can offer, a lot of suffering to the Lord. And so he has been true to his name, Saint John of the Cross, bearing the cross of the Lord as a true disciple. I'd like to end this with a reading of one of the poems of St. John of the Cross, The Dark Night of the Soul. And it's so beautiful, and I wish to share it with you, especially for the fact that I myself am a lover of poetry. For the others, it may seem profound, but it's a prayer actually that St. John of the Cross composed. And he wrote, "On a dark night, kindled in love with yearnings, so happy chance, I went forth without being observed, my house being now at rest. In darkness and secure by the secret ladder, disguised, oh happy chance, in darkness and in concealment, my house being now at rest. In the happy night in secret, when none saw me, nor I beheld aught, without light or guide, save that which burned in my heart. This light guided me more surely than the light of noonday, to the place where he, well I knew who, was awaiting me, a place where none appeared. O night that guided me, O night more lovely than the dawn, O night that joined beloved with lover, lover transformed in the beloved. Upon my flowery breast, kept holy for himself alone, there he stayed sleeping, and I caressed him. And the fanning of the cedars made a breeze. The breeze blew from the turret as I parted his locks. With his gentle hand he wounded my neck, and caused all my senses to be suspended. I remained lost in oblivion. My face I reclined on the beloved. All ceased, and I abandoned myself, leaving my cares forgotten among the lilies." Really a beautiful piece of poetry, and I'd like to thank all of you for listening. May every dryness, spiritual dryness that we experience actually be a moment for us to be embraced by the Lord. And I'd like to end with this quote from St. John of the Cross. "In the evening of life, we will be judged on love alone. How much have we loved? How much have we given?" And with this, I'd like to greet you all. Have a great day, and may God bless you.